When the show by Lauderdale, Jones, Scott, and Smith, Winston, Leak, you better act right. Don't drive slow and be wild at night. 'Cause you need to know that if you do, that Scotty Ray is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere. That man is faster than a scalded cat. If you do something dumb, then you better run with haste. Scotty Ray's at a wreck before it ever takes place.
Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is, of course, Otis.
Whoop, whoop. Here we are. It's hump day. Isn't it?
It is Wednesday.
Yes.
I had to check my phone earlier to make sure of that. Sometimes you get confused as to where you are during the week. And wow.
Well, you know, now you know.
What do I know?
I've told you time and time again that sometimes I'm tired when I wake up because I run around that old boy's head and him and his little minion. And now you know what that means. You've got a lot more people that you're running around their head in the middle of the night, all night. Rent-free in their head.
And y'all, let me be honest about this. I have never done a lot with city council meetings because there's so much going on in Meridian. Being locked up in a room for an hour and a half to 2 hours takes a lot out of my day. And I normally don't go those, but there was a couple of things that were coming up in those meetings yesterday that I wanted to hear for myself. So I tootled on down with my cowboy boots and I sat down. And Elliot Brewer is going to be our guest this morning. We're going to ask his comments because he is running for city council. And, you know, what if you were there?
I've seen congressional hearings on C-SPAN and things like that. And a little birdie called me and says, hey, it's like a mini congressional hearing down there. They've done called Scotty Ray to the front of the room.
And y'all, and let me just give you an example. I ain't never in my life. A city council meeting interrupted because I was getting ready to leave and I was called out. You can't make this up. You cannot. I had sat, and we'll get into what happened as Julie had come by and met with us on Monday to talk about some new passage of rules that the city council was getting proposed to them by the city planners. We'll get into that in a second. They spoke. That was one of the reasons I was there. I wanted to hear. And then I heard that another raise was trying to be put through. Well, I never heard that, but I was told that it might happen, so I was there to report on it if it was happening. Then the dog pound, Brian came up and made a proposal of what he needed for the pups in Meridian, and a well thought out plan that he had there. The city water department came up and talked about their needs. And then Tommy Williams, I believe is his name. And I honestly, Tommy started out talking, and then I got a text. I got two things that were going on. I got a text that said, heads up from Alabama, possibly some stolen materials headed toward Meridian, be on the lookout. So my second text I got was lunch, ? I thought, man, I sure am hungry.
Rumble in the tumble.
So
it was
Odie, this is where you just really can't make this up at the city council.
Wait a minute.
Meeting. What?
So you brought something up.
Okay.
You said you got a text that said, hey, there may be something heading this way, and you kind of got yourself prepared to, you might have to go to a crime scene?
That's it. Sure
so instead of maybe doing that for yourself if you were in media, you would rather blame somebody else for getting a heads up and trying to be prepared? Is that what I'm hearing? That people are actually... Look, I work right here with Scotty Ray, and I'm usually here about 6:15 in the morning, and I'm here till 8 thereabout, and that's when I'm with Scotty Ray. Yeah, you see Greg, you see Rob behind the camera, all that. What y'all don't see is he's got 40,000 reporters that also work for him. They are everywhere. They send me stuff. If they don't get him, they send him stuff. He has a whole fleet of people who believe in this show so much that they send. Okay, now he does have a group of people who actually do go out and do some reporting for him. But there's 40,000 people that don't follow another place because they don't believe the way that they have gone. And maybe preparation is key. Maybe is that something you've got heads up? You actually prepare for the next story?
Oh yeah. We're always ready for anything that's going to go on. You got to be on go, and as you'll see right there, that's how many people follow behind us.
Those are the ones that click follow, not the ones that watch and don't say I want to subscribe. Those are the ones who are on YouTube. The amount of reach. I'm serious when I say that there's 47 countries, including the United States, that watch this show.
Yesterday, though.
It's crazy.
Again, you can't make it up. I did an article a few weeks ago about political suicide. And if you talk to anybody who is a person that is a political person that's been in office for years, you learn that there are certain things that you don't do to voters. One of those things is an election year. It doesn't matter how bad you want it, how much you want to, never, ever, ever vote for a raise for the seat that you are in. Not in election year. You can do it another year, and I think people will understand that you might want to raise. The city council this year voted on a raise. Now, they make $20,000 a year to do this. It's a part-time job, without a doubt. That's what it is. They voted a $7,000 raise for that position to take effect July, which would be the following term. If you are an elected official sitting on there right now and you vote for it, you're in hopes that you're going to get reelected. Any political person who gets reelected year after year will tell you that that is not the thing to do because voters don't typically like that. That is a raise for yourself. If you are sitting in that position, whether you're in there the next year or not, you're hoping you're going to get reelected, and that would be a raise for you, period. You can like that or you can not like it, but it is, and I put on there question mark, political suicide question mark. And why the question mark? You, the voter, to decide that. Do you want to vote for them? Do you feel that they deserve that? You may think that they deserved it, but overall, most politicians, statewide, nationally, anybody that's done this for many years will tell you don't do that. Do it on an off year. People forget after 3 years that there was a raise. It's not as important. But a political year, you're very, very cautious of what you do. Anyway, Tommy Williams was speaking, and I don't mean any disrespect to Tommy, but apparently he either said my name or was implying something about me. I have no idea because I was not paying attention at that point. I was paying attention to politics and things that were going to be happening in Meridian elsewhere that I needed to go to. As I got up to go from the room, I was called out from is it the president, or what do they call it, the head of the city council?
The president of the council.
Which is Rwanda Walker. Mm-hmm. I have never had a problem with her in the past. She was one of the ones in the beginning that would come to some of those early press conferences. But I have a whole new outlook on that now. As I was leaving the room, she yelled at me to stop and seemed to be very upset that I had brought up that article. And she took it very personal. If you're an elected official, you have to learn to brush things off. Things are going to be said. And she said that she did not vote for a raise for herself. I asked the question, point blank, did you vote for this? I did not get an answer. She again accused me of lying. I think that was the way. She may have said it a little bit different. I hear another news person may have videoed it. It's out there. And I again asked that. And it just went back and forth and disrupted. And I asked, why am I up here? I did not ask to approach the council. I could care less what they were talking about. I had to go. And it just got out of hand that a city council, and again, let me remind you, this is people that are making decisions for you that are being rattled by that they couldn't continue their meeting of the agenda of what the taxpayer to stop me from leaving the room to ask this. She said she'd call my phone. She may have. I didn't answer it. I know another one had called my phone, and I just didn't see the point of talking with her. What's the point? You're not going to get reelected. You're not going to make it. I have better things to do. But to break up a meeting to try to yell at me for posting a story about you voting for the council to get a raise is ridiculous. And that's who you have in these offices. There's going to be a huge turnaround coming up soon. Jimmy Smith didn't say a word. He sat there and I think even Jimmy was in disbelief that this was happening. Dwayne Davis finally goes, "You need to calm down," speaking to her. Just settle down. And then eventually I was released of being, I don't know what I was. I'm still in disbelief. And I won't even address the next thing that happened because it just wasn't worth, it's not worth addressing when people don't understand things in life of how things work. Bless it. Bless it.
It's your fault to begin with.
But, again, people, think about this. If you're getting ready to be president, and I don't even know what the salary is anymore, but if you're a sitting president and any council, anything, anywhere, if you vote for a raise, the general public looks at that and you're giving yourself a raise. And you know what? You are. I don't care how you slice it. We've got a gentleman, Elliot Brewer, that is running for city council.
He said, "Boy, did I come in the middle of it."
We're gonna get his take on this in just a moment of what he would do. He's asking for your vote. Now's the time to grill him. What would you do? George Thomas is retiring. He is not going to seek re-election. Elliot is hoping to replace him. He's one of the candidates on the ballot this year. We'll talk to him next.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church, and nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie trying to figure out how to send a text picture. We had a good picture made of all of us down at the, what was that, the full moon?
The full moon on the 5th, where a lot of people were at.
It sure was. But it was a great picture of all of us together in one place at once, and somebody snapped it, and Odie's trying to figure out how to electronically send it.
Well, with this guy here who started out this show not knowing how to even spell tech.
Who said I could?
Can't hardly say. Now he's got all this fancy stuff, so when I send him a picture, it just goes to the computer. So he doesn't have to download it and then resend it to himself.
That's handy.
It is pretty cool. This signal stuff is pretty cool. I'm learning a lot. But now, you mentioned something. Somebody tried to call. I thought my phone rang a lot. This guy right here, his phone rings all the time. If you want to get with him, he's probably going to kill me because I'm going to give it out anyway. His email, Scotty Ray, 1969, and yeah, y'all heard this right, at AOL.com. I like saying it because of that part.
You're making fun of that.
Well, I mean, it's easy to remember. That's the best way. Or Messenger on his Facebook.
I have folks, but I want to apologize because I do miss some phone calls sometimes and some texts.
That's okay. They call me talking about, can you get in touch with Scotty Ray?
and I apologize.
He don't answer mine half the time.
You get kind of busy some days, and then you don't mean to overlook anybody by any means. We do our very, very best to get that answered quickly, though. But Elliot Brewer in with us this morning. Let's just take a look at him on camera for a moment. There he is. We caught him.
I'm here.
You were in the council meeting before. I think you left before all that went down. What happened to me?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Would you, as a council member, call out the media like that when they're hadn't wanted to come to the?
No, sir. When you're supposed to be conducting official city business, that's not the time or the place to air some a personal vendetta or call out the media in questioning your actions from your seat. So that's not the time or the place.
And I tend to agree with that. And I think most Americans agree with that. And sometimes that's why we don't get city business taken care of, because things get sidetracked and the focus is lost. And again, I don't attend these meetings a whole lot, but boy, it sure indicates I need to go there more often, because there's problems up in there.
Absolutely.
The Scotty Ray
it's pretty enlightening.
Yes or no question. You sat and listened yesterday. There's a proposal, in which group is it, by the community development?
Yeah.
Yes,
What's the name of that? It's community development group, to where they want, and in the end, I think the big picture, I think they're right that you always do need to look ahead for security ways to keep Meridian safety. I agree with that 100%. Some of the things are being questioned by some of the groups of, okay, this is not affordable for my group. We can't afford extra security guards when our group is not that big. What about state games? Are they going to, because I think it was even said there, during any event that has over 1,000 people, you would have to have metal detectors and have to hire extra security. Okay, does this apply to events hosted by the Meridian Police Department? Will they also, by the city of Meridian, will they also have to hire outside security? Or will the Meridian Police Department handle this? State games, will everybody that attends state games, will they have to go through a metal detector?
That's a lot of people.
A lot of events, I think people feel, especially when the street is not blocked off, you can walk down it. It's your Second Amendment right to carry that weapon where you want to in Meridian. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, so we've got...
It's a hot potato.
It most definitely is a hot potato. So one of the biggest issues that the 501(c)(3)s, your nonprofits that host these events that are running into, they have budgets, but they also take their profits and turn them back into more events for the city. They write grants for different groups, and they help out lots across the community. So when you add this extra layer to them, you undercut what they're trying to do for the city of Meridian and Lauderdale County. So you're hurting them, and they're the ones hosting events in downtown. They're a huge part of the revitalization movement of downtown Meridian, which is what we're all supposed to be working towards.
Right, and I think one of them had made the comment, well, they'll use their profits. Well, not everybody's trying to make a profit, especially with full moon and state game. It's not a profit for that group. Every dollar is put back into it.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. These are all nonprofits for a large portion of the events that happen in downtown are nonprofit organizations. So that they're not a for money making model. That they create funds to then disperse them back out to other people. So you're talking about some very slim margins that they're able to do that with through sponsorships and donations from community members. But now we're going to lose those because we've got to add 6 more people onto our security force at roughly, you're looking at $35 an hour for a 5-hour event. I mean, you're undercutting a lot. So that's a huge concern. But then, like you also brought up, I mean, we're an open carry state. So a city ordinance is going to overpower state legislation. They're going to keep me from carrying my firearm.
Right.
There are lots of questions.
I don't think anybody has a problem with a ticketed event, that you're purchasing a ticket to go in. I don't think anybody has a problem with that. Have we had problems in downtown Meridian with some events? I'll word it that way. There have been. I want to say they shut down an event that was getting out of hand because, I'll be honest with you, I could smell the weed 3 blocks. I think I was high standing over by the Temple Theater. I mean, it was just, poof, you get out your car and it was this aroma, and I thought it was a dead skunk. But no, it was an event going on downtown while it was, and let me try to word this. Isn't smoking marijuana in public illegal if you do not have a medical card? I mean, I just don't see.
Yes.
I don't see people that are on medical marijuana waiting till they get to an event to go, whoa, well, I need to take my medication now.
And I don't, and I have to go back and look, but even with a card, I don't think it's legal for you to go downtown and smoke. Well, I don't think you can do it out in the open. Not yet, anyway.
But the event that I'm speaking of that had problems, you could smell the Mary Jane for blocks. I mean, it was no.
Oh, you're not talking about inside wall.
No, this was in the open. It was an event being held out. So why wasn't something done of a search in there going, okay, you're breaking the law, you need to leave this event, or they were arrested? There's just a lot of questions with this.
Yeah.
And sometimes people that are doing that have weapons that use them for the wrong reasons because their clarity is not. Am I making sense here? They're
oh, yes, sir.
They can't think straight anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Deborah come up with a good question.
What's that?
So Sunday afternoon, are they going to put a metal detector at the beginning of the bridge as people for the prayer walk? Do they have to walk through a metal detector?
That's it, because there's going to be a lot of people. And how much security will we have to have for that? I don't think the church can afford it.
Not when they're just trying to do the Lord's will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of questions. And again, I don't want anyone to think that I'm downing safety concerns because, the barriers of putting up the water blocks where truck, I agree with that because
yes,
we see in cities there are bad people. I'm just saying let's be cautious and don't pass something as an overall and have hidden things in there that we don't know. I think this needs to be really, really looked at. Am I wrong, or do you need to add?
I think these are all valid questions, and one of the issues I think that we have here is community planning. They alluded to them in the meeting yesterday. They had their first walkthrough with event planners, all the event planners, on February 5th. And then they had another meeting, I believe, around February 20th, 27th, something around that time. But then here we were March 10th, and we're trying to pass this ordinance. I don't know that there were enough layers and conversations that took place prior to for us to have a full understanding of what was actually implemented. I don't even think the council has a full understanding. Because
I don't think they do either.
Because it seemed to me that questions that Cooper Huff was bringing up when he got brought to the table as representative of ACES, several of the council members were sitting there scratching their head like, well, I wonder. But yet, here we are, and we've passed something without doing our due diligence.
Right, and I do think Dwayne, as he was questioning a few things, and Dwayne made a lot of sense as he was questioning some of these things yesterday on the city council.
Information is key.
It is.
And somebody said, if you can drink outside at an event, why can't you smoke if you have a card?
Because it's illegal.
Well, if I sit here and drink outside, and I'm right beside Scotty Ray the whole time, no matter how intoxicated I may get, he'll never feel an effect. But if I sit here and I smoke one of my little Mary Jane cigarettes, if I so had a card, he could get a contact buzz. So that actually affects.
And then I could be arrested for all driving under the influence.
Exactly. So drinking a beer affects that person and that person only.
Correct.
And smoking a joint in public affects everyone around, and it's still an illegal substance. It is for medical use only.
And we see the cities that have made this recreational, how well they're doing. It is not good.
Tater chip sales went up.
I'm sure it did. But does it have its purposes to help people?
Medically, 100%.
Yes, I agree with that. But that is not the place to do that. And America's lost its vision on right and wrong here.
Well, you can take a gummy if you want to, and you won't have to smell the way that you smell.
You don't need a designated area for an illegal substance. Period. That's like sanctuary cities.
Well, you do have a designated area. It's called your house.
Yeah. Don't bring it to the public. It's just point blank dry, and wow. We got more coming up. We ain't through yet. Elliot's got some more. We're gonna question him of how he'd vote and what he'd do. We're gonna ask about crime. That seems to be a hot topic for everybody. We'll find out more.
Joe Norwood is asking for your vote, District 82, House of Representatives, March 25th. Norwood has been District 4 Supervisor since 2000, served on numerous boards in the area, was instrumental with the weather radar in Meridian, and helped bringing the data center to Meridian. He is a member of numerous associations, both national and state. He asks again for your vote March 25th for House of Representative District 82, paid for by Committee to Elect Joe Norwood.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low-mileage cars and trucks. How about a Z71 2500 HD? Or maybe you're looking for the Ford F-150 with lots of leg room in it. Plenty of SUVs like the Explorer for the family. Or if you're looking for a gas saver to go back and forth to work, come by and see the mini cars like this Nissan.
The low-profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and if you want to read more about what we were just talking about, it's posted on our page. Here's the actual papers that were in there. You make your own decision. Read through that. We're not going to influence you. Read it, see what you think. You're more than welcome to list your comments, as these many people have down through here, and let us know what you think. It's always good to voice your opinion, and you can do that. We're not going to filter that, and unless you start using ugly language, then we have to do something. Outside of that, you can do that. Be friendly, because kids read the page. We don't want anything like that. The election, how long is it before the election happens?
So we've got a primary on April 1st, and because I've got a Republican candidate on the ticket with me, that's the race we're sprinting towards at this very moment.
And then it will be between you, whoever wins that, and a Democrat later.
Yes,
in the general election.
On June 3rd will be the general election.
Have your district, which is Ward 1, have you seen an escalation in your opinion of crime?
So I think the largest issue in my district would not necessarily be crime, but infrastructure, because I've got a huge section of citizens, and they may stipulate it as crime, that feel like they were kidnapped by the city about 20 years ago.
You're talking.
They're wanting to de-annex.
They're wanting to de-annex now, yes, sir. And so some people have used the language, we were kidnapped by the city 20 years ago. Others
I tend to agree with them. They helped them.
Well, no, sir. That's a fact. So we've got two things we've got to do. We've got to figure out how to help these people and give them what we promised them 20 years ago, or we've got to look at a means of transition and releasing them back into the wild, so to speak.
And while they're in the wild, let me explain. They're paying a lot of taxes. It is a lot of taxes if you live Northeast Middle School, elementary, now in the city of Meridian,
and Northeast High School.
Yeah, all of that is in there. And these folks that build outside of the city were not planning on paying city taxes, which is a lot higher, and car tags, which is outrageous.
Absolutely.
And you know what they've gotten? A fire station. That's all I know of.
Yes, sir. So I've spoken with a lot of residents, especially in the 1C area that's been affected by this. And I asked them when I've been out door knocking, what have you been provided? Well, we got a fire station. May not have a fire hydrant, but we got some fire trucks over here. But then number two is I said, well, have you seen a police presence? Because the city says, well, we've given them fire and police presence, and unfortunately, we got a depleted police force as it stands now. So how do you cover that much extra ground when it's not an epicenter of crime? You're trying to focus your efforts. So they said they may see a police officer maybe once or twice a year just checking a box, going about 70 down Highway 39.
Yeah.
To say he did go through that area.
That's it. Yeah. I reported. I went that way. We have... and I'm speaking as a resident of the city, we've not fulfilled our promise to those individuals, because I live in Ward 1, but I do not live in the annex portion. So I'm an OG Meridianite in that regard. So
does that area include the North Hills area, Northwood,
yes,
North Hill Street?
Yes, sir. So Ward 1 encompasses basically far west as King Road, north and south of it, all the way down to Marion. And north of North Hill Street. So I've got a good depth north and south of North Hill Street, all the way down to about Little Acre, south of the old south of border location, right in there. And then it starts to trend more northward. And then when you hit Country Club, 10th Avenue. 10th Avenue, when you travel south down 10th Avenue, to the right would be mine to 46th Street, and to the left is going to be Ward 2, and beyond that is going to be Ward 5, because that's where we kind of all three butt up to one another. And then you go all the way north up to Briarwood Road, and that would be the south end of Briarwood, so you're right as you're traveling to Northeast High School.
As we follow this, and I've often said that if you follow my show, watch any of this stuff, Ward 1 has turned into probably the number 2 crime-ridden area in the city. And I say that. We had someone executed on the street not long ago. An AR, shot 40-something times, 30, 40 times, there on Poplar Springs Drive. A young man was killed there, executed. We go down the street, North Hills, past the bowling alley. We saw an elderly couple horribly murdered. 2 elderly people in that area, and multiple crimes in this. What is the plan to make this safe again? This, at one time, you mentioned the word North Hills country. You would have never thought of even hearing a bang in the middle of the night. And I get call after call after call every night of, I'm hearing this. It's by my house. What do I do? Have you thought on this?
Yes, sir. So, from the city council standpoint, there's not a whole lot we can do. Our goal would then be to, whichever the mayor candidate wins the race, if they come with a new police chief, it's our job to confirm those individuals and vet those individuals out. But one thing that we've got that is absolutely necessary, in my view, is we've got to make a change in that regard, because there is a cultural problem with the police department. When you've got strong leadership at the helm, you have people that want to come and work for you. There may be a line, an expectation standard there, but people thrive under that model. The ones that don't thrive are the ones you don't want to have, the ones that don't like expectations every day. So we need someone, and I don't mean that in a micromanaged sense, but we need an overall macro
somebody
vision.
Might make a decision.
Absolutely.
I'm just thinking outside the box here.
So we got this new industry coming in. And this particular new term most likely will not see a single dime from it. That's going to be in 5 years that you'll start seeing some money coming into the city and the county. So this entire term probably won't benefit any from this, we'll say $40 to $50 million a year. But planning has got to be made so the future of Meridian, there's already groundwork to where things may want to end up in 5 years. You don't want to just take a $50 million check and say, oh, okay, what are we going to do with it now? So sitting down now and trying to plan for the future, what are some things that Meridian gets a $50 million check? What are some things that you see would benefit the city of Meridian for that?
Can I pay off some debt that we already got?
Yeah. And that's on both sides. But what would be the future you would like to see some of that money go towards to make Meridian better?
Well, I think incentivizing our officers with a little bit better compensation. I mean, when they're out there risking their lives every day, and we're not paying them near enough.
We paid that group enough yesterday to yell at me on top of the hill not to video what was going on. You can't video that. Yes, I can.
When you're in public,
do your job.
Video whatever's taking place in public. It's a sad day when we don't even realize that. But more money for better trained officers, and I think that would help bolster our police force and incentivize people to come work for us. But also, we got to have that level of expectation. I mean, there just is what it is. Also, I think what we're missing the boat on the large tourism venue is we need a sports complex. I'll just be honest with you. I think
Amen.
A lot of people, yeah, that brings money.
Absolutely. I mean, we have the state games of Mississippi that we host every year,
and we're losing portions of that.
We have to give away
cities.
sports because we don't have the facilities to facilitate that. We got all the hotels in the world. Everybody can stay here, sure, but if we don't have the sports, they're not going to come in and stay in the hotels. So we've got to expand our footprint in that regard because Look, we've all traveled and seen these cities that have built these major sports complexes that see them stacked and packed most weekends for travel tournaments, and that does nothing but bring economic development. It brings in revenue for the city.
Imagine that. We got more coming up. We're going to tell you about a few things happened yesterday and more about what goes on in Meridian. Again, I want to remind y'all, as this election, whoever you vote, I want you to vote because this affects your pocketbook. Everybody in the city, I know there's people going, well, I don't live in Meridian, but you know what? You probably shop here. We got more coming up. Let's face it, accidents are going to happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see my friends and professionals at Chet's Paint and Body Shop in Center Hill. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop.
Looking for a deal you can't pass up? Right now, drive off in a quality used car for just $299 down and only $299 a month here at Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Meridian. That's right, good reliable cars packed with features at a price you'll love. $299 down, $299 a month. Look, I'm not kidding. This is a real offer that our customers have taken advantage of for years now. Come see us today, Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Meridian.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Welcome back. And Sandra made a comment about Meridian having a lot of hotels. And right now, Lala's going, oh, yeah.
He's got, Meridian
he's done well.
We're the middle of the road, and back in the day where, before internet and Amazon and all that, you had to have someone come to your business and sit down and say, this is what my company offers you. And these salesmen would leave home and go work the week and come back home, and Meridian was always pretty close to the middle of their traveling.
It's a great place to stay.
And they said, hey, look, we can stop, we can eat, we can sleep, we can get some rest, and then off we go again. And so we've been known for drawing a lot of out-of-town people. Now let's practice on, while they're here, keeping them another extra day.
Right. I mean, like letting the inmates go to Church's Chicken and escape. I mean, that's a great plan there.
Well, not them kind of visitors. They don't have churches in Clark County. Not Church's Chicken.
Of all the things I've reported, every time that I think back on that day, I giggle. Who stops to give somebody chicken when they're going to jail?
They already got a lunch waiting on them.
Good behavior. Let's try it for some chicken. Oh, well. Let's go to something else that happened yesterday. As we were out about, I mentioned that something was stolen, and here we go. Well, what is this? Chancellor all over it up here with a U-Haul behind it. Let me show you what's behind this. It's stuck, Odie.
Did they just run off the road?
Well, I think they really thought they could drive this U-Haul across the median.
Oh, that wasn't smart.
Because I think they may have thought there's a cop up ahead, and, well, I'm a little spooked. You got any idea why they might have been spooked?
Oh, so is they hauling illegal contraband?
Yes, sir. It would be this right here. Thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of stolen motorcycles out of Oxford, Alabama were taken.
Spanking brand new.
Brand new. And there may have been a second truck involved with this. And as I put in the comments on this, folks, if you saw anybody, and I saw somebody mention it was a white car involved, when that truck got stuck, they got picked up by their accomplices. that helped steal this.
Oh, so
And
nobody was left in the vehicle.
That's correct. As the Mississippi Highway Patrol arrived, they were gone.
Now, somebody rented that there U-Haul.
Yes, sir. I bet you can track that down somewhere.
Does that price tag say $10,000 for a dirt bike?
Yes, sir. I'm told that it was how many? I think it was about $68,000 worth of motorcycles right there.
Dirt bike prices have gone sky high since I rode a dirt bike.
And I didn't even notice that.
Whoo! I look at price tags. Everybody calls me cheap.
And let's just zoom in on that. Let's just go ahead and get the rest of the story here.
Oh, $10,200.
That's a Yamaha model there, 450 there.
Oh, it's the monster sticker on the front. That made it.
There you go. There you go. Mountain Sports, Motorsports. That is, again, in Oxford, Alabama is where this stuff was stolen from. I don't believe these were hurt. I think they can be returned to the store without any problem there. But what was the connection? Why were they coming through Meridian? Where was it going? Was it going to Dallas? I don't know. But hot products.
We bring all kind of stuff through our interstate because our interstate will take you from east to west.
But somebody got spooked there, and they were trying to make a U-turn, it looked like. Me, I would have waited to the next exit, but criminals.
Well, all right, so they had a car that picked them up. Maybe said car was a runner ahead, and maybe one in the back, and said, hey, man, there's one up here, and he's looking.
Yeah, you're right.
So
they are looking for someone that might, and I don't know whether they got fingerprints. I stayed way away from the vehicle and I was not told to leave once. They were very, very nice people, and I didn't get in their way, and we had no problem with the police. It's amazing.
You didn't go shut the door? And
I didn't do anything like that. We don't mess with crime scenes. We're just there to report what's going on. We don't interfere with anything.
Well, if any of y'all was driving down the interstate at that time with all your dash cams, and you saw some people,
MHP, give them a call today. Now, I think Michael Ted is getting a little out of hand of what he's making the guys do there for working out. Being a fireman in Meridian is tough, y'all. Sometimes I see, the ladies were over at your office the other day watching them run.
Yeah.
Working out. They were whistling at them and everything. Mike says, y'all calm down. Let these guys got to focus. Yesterday, they were caught picking up cars. These boys are tough. There was an accident and the car flipped over, and the Meridian Fire Department was there to turn the car back upright and to help those that was there. I'm telling you, we got a incredible fire department. And I wanted to say thank you for everything that they do. This was 29th Avenue and 7th Street. This is just off of 8th. You can't miss it there. And there's the car. It flipped back over there. Boom. But that's how it looked there originally. And you got to get the car back over.
And it's not safe when it's up on its side because that's not how it belongs.
But again, I want to say thank you to them. They went above and beyond there to... I
want to say, and I don't know this guy's name, but bottom of the hill, there was a small little wreck. And a lady had a medical emergency. And if you're watching... I hope everything's going good, and I pray that you're okay. But a guy saw us standing outside in front of my office talking, and he stopped, and he goes, guys, I don't know what's going on, but there's a medical emergency bottom of the hill. And so I turned around and looked at Chief, and Chief grabbed his radio and says, Engine 1, come on. There was somebody calling 911 at the time, but we were able to get down there.
So he beat 911?
So, they were on the phone with 911, and here come me and Michael Ted running down the hill, and Engine 1 is right behind us. So everything turned out good, but it was medical emergency, and just hope that she's
I hope so,
she's
too.
Okay.
Here's one of those funnies. It's often I get a lot of ribbon, and people are used to me when accidents happen, and they are just accidents. I pulled up onto a wreck yesterday. She goes, "Oh my gosh!" She said, "Where did you come from?" She said, "I just asked the police officer to hurry up so we could get away before you come, and he assured me that he saw you downtown doing something." She was so sweet.
Dum dum dum.
She was so sweet, and that's what it was. This was Highway 19, just an accident here. As we take a look, There he is. Mitchell Wrecker all over this one there. Quentin doesn't come to the scene.
Now.
And as we come over, here's the other car that was involved in the accident. And they were so sweet. And their car got a little damage there. But
it looked like they got an Uber behind them.
It
just took it out of the truck.
It got Ubered right there.
No, you see it laying down. She just took it out of her trunk.
Oh, that right there, that little bicycle. But everything was okay. There was a couple kids that were in the car. They were not hurt. She had a little bruise, and it's all going to be okay. Minor injuries, and these things happen around town. She was such a good sport. I had so much fun talking with them. One of the things that happened yesterday throughout the city. Let's see.
You went to that one wreck. It wasn't a wreck. The old fella drove off in a ditch over there on 45, Dale Drive or something. And you drove up, and the guy said, "See, I told y'all better hurry up. Scotty Ray gonna make it. Y'all didn't believe me."
Oh, we had an incident in Enterprise yesterday. Somebody did. It was a power line that got in the way. So sometimes you got to just take them.
I hate it when that happens.
Sheriff Chancellor was all over this. Look at that. It's broke.
Oh boy.
Rump row, as we have the Clark County Sheriff's Department all over that as they tried to fix that. Let me go back here and look here. Man, we got damage to the Dollar General sign.
Not a Dollar General.
Let's zoom in on that. It is. Look at that. It's done took off the L.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna know where to stop now. Somebody get some cardboard and go up there and fix that immediately. Enterprise is where all that happened yesterday. I think the roads are back up. They got all that fixed at this point.
Daniel's talking about my laugh. Everybody else likes my laugh.
Who got on you?
Daniel.
What'd he say?
He wants a mute button for my laugh.
He said, "Just messing with you." We'll be right back. We had a fire yesterday also in Meridian. Fire department was on that one also. We'll be right back with that.
J&J Tire Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp, trail riding, or just working on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows, call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie, and we're so excited to be here. Again, we're going to, in just a minute, we're going to talk about this severe weather because we do have some multiple storms that are headed our way. They will begin at 4 a.m. this morning, which will be Thursday morning. We'll talk about that in just a moment there. Elliot Brewer in with us now, who is seeking an election in Ward 1. We appreciate him dropping by. And we were talking about the family just then.
Yeah. A nice family.
Man, you got a heap of... Let's pull up the picture here.
Look at them. Look at all those redheads. Bless
I'm
my
so
heart.
sorry.
Good looking crew right there. Yeah, that little one right there, Bo, my youngest one, he said, "Hey, Daddy, be sure to tell Scotty Ray that I got into pre-K." I said, "I most certainly will, man. I'll make sure he knows."
We are so tickled of it. He's there. He's made it to pre-K now.
That's right. He wanted to make sure Scotty Ray Report knew about it.
That's it.
What school will he go to?
He'll be at West Lauderdale.
Well, congratulations. It's a lot of fun out there. We spend a lot of time at area schools. Kids are, I'm telling you, they're our gift to the future. Take time with a child. Make sure that you do that. Before long, we'll have some of those.
And I want to say this. You said take time with our children because they are our future.
Mm-hmm.
Elliot, you're not a politician by trade. That's not what you do for a living.
No, sir.
So tell everybody, what is your background, and what do you have to bring to the table if they feel elected to elect you to this office?
Absolutely. So I'm a 16-year public educator, 7 years in public school administration. Currently, I'm at Northeast Middle School as their assistant principal. Was at West Lauderdale for 5 years previously before that stint. And one thing that my experience has given me is an ability to work with all types of people, all walks of life. My job as administrator is to bring the students, the teachers, and their parents all to one accord for the success of all, man.
That's tough.
And it can be a daunting task some days. Some days are easier than others. But I have that in my repertoire, and then also dealing and building budgets with state funds and federal funds, because we were a title school when I was the head principal at West. So I was responsible for building the budget for my school. Obviously, we have a financial director at Central Services that would approve that budget, but we were still expected to maintain those and to build those out and disperse the funds efficiently and effectively for the betterment of our student population. So I've got a wide array of skills that kind of transcend into the city council expectations. So I've got a little bit of experience already. People told me, they said, now you better be sure that you get thick skin now going into politics. I said, I'm a public school administrator. I said, I promise you, these people won't say anything to me that they ain't said to my face.
There ain't no telling what kids have said. And let's just be honest about this. Little Johnny, his mama thinks he's never made a problem. Never been a problem in class. And I'm sure that little Johnny's mama's come to see you once or twice.
I may have had one or two little Johnnies in my day.
Let me ask this. Do you know who the principal of Northeast High School is?
Yes, sir. Josh
Who is the
Harrington.
principal over there?
Josh Harrington.
Josh. Let me address Josh. I think Josh needs to have a portrait of Miss Clark placed in the library. When I was in high school at 87, Miss Clark had been there for, I think, 40 years as the librarian, and she was so funny. Y'all need to have a little memorial there with her picture on the wall there, Miss Clark.
I might try and talk to him. I got a little in with him.
Oh, do you?
You all my exes that you always complain about. That's my
y'all
ex.
married to the same
that's
woman?
my ex stepdaughter's husband.
Wait a minute. Ex stepdaughter's husband.
That's my stepdaughter from a previous married.
Okay.
She's married to Josh.
Okay, so he's actually your ex-son-in-law.
Chelsea Harrington.
Bless him.
Need a flow chart sometimes, don't we?
Oh, this man's family, y'all.
At least my tree branches.
Oh. Getting all kind of serious up in here.
That took a turn.
So when the mayor produces a budget and gives it to the council to say, hey, I want you to approve this, you know what you're looking at. You know that what you've got in front of you can be feasible, or maybe it needs a little tweaking on some things, and that's something that you already know how to do and what to look for to better serve the community with monies that are coming in that without having to raise taxes.
Absolutely. So, one of the things as the city council stands, their biggest job is to manage the funds of the city, to manage that budget. And so, because all the appropriations have to go through them to be, rubber stamped, so to speak, before it can be dispersed. So one of the things that we have to look at is where we can cut some waste. Lack of a better term, we're supposed to be the Doge of the city of Meridian. The city council is. We're supposed to look at overspending and just ask questions. I've sat in many city council meetings since I've decided to do this. And
Bless you.
Yeah, George and I talked about this over a year ago at this point. And I'd been praying about it, talked to him, and so I started attending some. And then obviously once I qualified, I've been attending as many as I possibly can. But with that, one of the things that I've noticed is we don't ask enough questions. And I find that very disconcerting, because it's your job to manage the money. And no offense, because we have wonderful people in place in certain departments. I'm not going to go there yet because I'm not there. I'll be able to speak on that hopefully sooner rather than later. But we don't ask enough questions. And so I feel like it's our job and responsibility to ask those, because all the questions do is bring about transparency. And in government, if you don't have transparency, you're not going to be effective, and the public is going to believe that you're hoodwinking them at every turn. So we've got to open the doors. We have to showcase to people what we're actually doing every day, for the betterment of the city.
Because people tend to, if you don't tell them, they make their own opinions, and sometimes it's the fault of those who don't give the information out if people interpret it wrong. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Lauderdale County Superintendent John Mark Kane told us when he came on board as our superintendent, he said, y'all, you got to tell your story or other people will tell it for you.
And he owes me a ride in a Mustang that he's got if you happen to see him. He promised me he was taking me. I ain't seen him yet. Oh, I'm coming by. Yeah, dodging me with the Mustang.
Yeah. I'll work on that for you, sir. We'll see what we can come up with.
So one thing that I've been asked a couple times before, and I told him, I said, it doesn't have anything to do with me, but that's something I will ask in the future. The sound on the third floor is pretty echoey, so it's not real easy to hear and all, but we used to have Channel 12 on TV where you could watch all city council, county supervisors, all those meetings. But how are you on, or what are your thoughts of having a publicized meeting every time the work session comes along and a council meeting comes along, that you have that publicized so all the constituents who are at work or have the kids and can't come can pay attention to what's going on with city politics?
I think it's a great idea. Again, we have to be transparent in government. You have to be able to reach all people. Just because we have one set aside the first Tuesday of the month at 9 a.m. and the third Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m. are your standard ones. They're work sessions that get put in place here, there, and yonder. But we still need to put it out there for people because those times may not be conducive for people's schedules, but that does not mean that their opinion on matters or that their understanding of what's going on is less important. So I would be a huge advocate for that. And I'll be honest with you, there's hardly anybody at these meetings that just sit in as concerned citizens. The people that typically attend meetings that I see out in the seats are folks that they have things that are up for vote or they're mandated to be there by the mayor, such as the chief of police and fire chief and public works director, city clerk, so forth and so on.
Then anybody else gets jumped on.
But I am with you on the sound. Miss Stacy Thompson, she's trying her best over there. She's got that soundboard off to the side, and she is working her magic as best she can to make sure that everybody's heard for sure.
She's kind of like a neighbor of mine around the corner.
But it does get difficult. I don't hear as well with my left ear as I do with my right.
Well, if you saw me in the meeting yesterday, I was leaning, and it was very hard. Somebody was wearing a mask, and I have no idea what they said.
Yes, sir.
I mean, none.
Yes, sir.
They said it was kind of like watching The Simpsons, during that. And I have no clue what they said. Now, I'm not being ugly by any means. It's just I couldn't understand that.
Well, that's because they had one microphone in between three people.
Yeah, and they
didn't move it. They didn't adjust to it, or it caused some problems for sure. But yes, I think that they all should be televised. We should Facebook Live them. We should put them on. WTOK should put it out there. Something should happen there, and there should be a video record also. We have an extensive website for the city of Meridian. I don't see why we couldn't upload the last several and keep them up there and then archive them for past things. Because again, it's transparency. Because guess what? If I told you 4 or 5 meetings ago that we were going to do something and it still hadn't been done, you can call me to the carpet for it. You got every right to do so, and then you've got a record to stand on that I said it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. We'll be right. I was reading about that. We'll be right back. More to come up as we continue along with this early morning. It's Wednesday, y'all. We're going to talk about a little bit of weather before we get out of here in a minute.
All aboard for the 22nd Annual Loose Caboose Arts and Crafts Festival, coming your way April the 12th in downtown Newton. Craft vendors, carnival rides, food vendors, the dinosaur experience for the kids at the Kids Zone. Zach Logan will be the headliner for the entertainment at Ray Payne Park. The Bank First Car Show returns with cars, trucks, racing vehicles, and classic cars. Plus a motorcycle show as well. It's all happening this year at the 22nd Annual Loose Caboose Festival, downtown Newton. See you there. Stadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn-dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, best Sadia buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954.
Are you tired of your old car being a dud? Well, come into Kia Meridian, where we're giving up to $3,000 over KBB for your trade-in. We have interest rates as low as 0.9% and up to $3,000 in rebates. Come in at the Kia Meridian and drive off in a new car and a new you for the new year. Come see us.
The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger. Plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. Hey, y'all, I forgot to bring up, guess who has moved?
I don't know. Good question.
Rosie. She is leaving the United States to go to Italy.
Did she take anybody with her?
Unfortunately, no.
There's a whole montage of videos where people say, if Trump gets elected, I'm leaving. Have y'all left yet?
Yeah, she is. She's going there. Wow, it's amazing how if you stand up for what you believe in, Canada's backed off threatening us of raising our electricity. I see that Ukraine has agreed to come to the table.
Well, I mean, didn't we build this multi-billion-dollar plant to generate power so we didn't have to worry about getting it from nowhere else?
A lot of things are happening, and again, there's usually a few days of disorderly things that happen, but sometimes you got to stand your ground and draw a line in the sand to get things done correctly. That is going on there. So we'll see when all of this lines up.
She's in Ireland. Okay, she ain't here no more.
Okay, Ireland. Close. They both started with an I.
Yeah.
Oops. I was speed reading.
See, you ran around in people's head all night. You didn't get no sleep.
Bless it. I do apologize about that. I was close on that. Let's see here. They have passed so that the government will not be shutting down. With 4 days left, they have passed a spending bill. Everything's going to keep going as they should. And I don't know as much about this as I should, but we all know who Alex that got his business taken away from him. InfoWars is the name of the place. Alec, and I'll think of his name in a minute. He had his business taken away from him over the Sandy Hook thing. One of his reporters was murdered in the last few days. Have you seen that in front of his home?
No, I didn't.
Horrible thing that happened. He was shot and killed, 35 years old. Condolences to his family there. So we certainly hate that happened. Would you pay? How many people like Kiss?
Well, I mean, I like Kiss.
It wasn't
I like
my
the
thing.
music.
And I couldn't name one song that they ever done. I just know that they wore makeup and dressed like women.
Well, no, they didn't.
You should.
Alex Jones. Yeah.
Alex
Do
Jones.
you know why they painted themselves like that?
All that fib about so people wouldn't recognize them.
Well, because of their job, they couldn't do that type of rock and be on
Okay, let me give a description.
Wall Street and all that at one time, because they were businessmen back in the day.
High heels, makeup, and long hair.
Yeah.
Sounds like a woman to me.
Well, you got to take it in all costume. They weren't stilettos. They were big boots.
But my point is, and this
it wasn't
guy,
curly hair.
Gene Simmons, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Moneybags.
Yeah, Moneybags was thrown out of Fox News and told he could never come back. He interrupted board meetings. And the man is just money hungry. But let me tell you this little money scheme that he's got going on. You know how people have personal assistants.
Yeah.
You normally pay somebody to be your personal assistant, but it's not that way with Gene Simmons now. If you are a die-hard Kiss fan, for $12,495, you too can be his personal assistant for one day. If you pay him $12,000 to work for him for a day, you can be his personal assistant.
Hey, Gene, I like your music, but I ain't carrying your bag.
But I ain't never heard of that.
Me neither.
You got to give him an A for creativity. I mean, that's different, but I have not heard yet how many people have signed up to pay him that money. It's Tom Sawyer at the best.
He's only worth $400 million. Look, $400 million is a lot of money, but for everything he's done and everything that he owns and what he's doing, you're only worth $400 million.
Well, it's going to get better.
And then you're going to charge $12,000. Elon Musk don't even have somebody that's paying him to carry a bag.
Deborah, are you saying that you don't agree that they look like women? I don't know what she meant by the no on that, but I'm picking on that. Bless his heart. They were different. They were not my kind of style. You didn't see Gene Watson running around with makeup and high heels. Gene didn't do it. He just sang about farewell parties and things of that nature. They
ain't worth $400 million either, are they?
No, and he's still out there at 85 trying to sing. Picking on Gene Watson like that. Bless his heart there. As so many things to go. Let's talk about weather a second. And as we get to a serious note on this, let's talk about what's going to be coming up. This is what we have coming in at 4 a.m. Let me move this over where we can see this here. 4 a.m. The line's going to fall right there at Scott County. As you get there anywhere east toward Alabama, it will be after 4 a.m. in the morning that we have a level 1. Now, what this really means is we're going to have some wind, some heavy rain. It's not going to be tornadic activity. Could see a little bit of hail involved with that. Now, let's fast forward. Let's get on into Friday. Where did my button go, Odie? Here it is. We get into Friday, and that risk goes up to a level 2 for this area. Now, we've been seeing a lot of severe weather over the last few weeks. And let me remind y'all, we say this every time, but we lost a life locally. A tree limb killed a deer soul in Clark County in Stonewall the last storm. Trees will hurt you. Do not stay in a home. Don't be under one if the wind is blowing. Night or day, it can hurt you. It can fall through your home. We have so many people that lose their lives to that. And we're going to have a lot of wind moving in with this here. Now, this is late Friday night. We'll call it in the afternoon, Friday afternoon, until evening hours.
You said this before, too. And during that storm this last storm that we had that happen, we were in the orange, the enhanced risk, and now we're yellow, slight risk. But let me tell you, you mention this every time you talk about weather, Scotty Ray. That tornado and that system that develops that tornado does not know what colored zone it's in.
Correct.
There is a possibility as much in the green, in the yellow, and in that orange. You do not know. Chances are it's going to be a higher possibility in that orange.
And
so I want to make sure
to
to put that out because it's coming Saturday.
There we go. And as we look at the possible tornadoes on Saturday, on Friday, we move into tornadoes being listed. Very strong possibility we'll have them in this level 3. This goes all the way over to the Jackson, Mississippi area and then back east into Bama. Large hail will be involved with this. If you have a vehicle that you don't want beat up on and look like reed timber, park it under something. Because it could be dangerous there. Timing's going to be in the morning hours as the storm comes through Friday night through about afternoon, let's say 3 o'clock. And again, these times will change a little bit, but your lives are worth so much more. We got a lot of rain. This downpour is going to come with this. High winds with this, and tree limbs will break.
Yeah.
Am I saying there's probably going to be some power outages? Yes, that will happen. They hit trees and power lines every single time. And let's just hope everybody's restocked on these power poles.
Rain in the morning. Rain Friday with possible storms. Rain Saturday, most likely with severe storms. Here's the thing. Your ground is saturated.
Yep.
Your trees are already going to be weak. Some went through this last storm and that weakened them a little bit, and this is not helping any. So continue to be vigilant as this storm moves through our area.
And as Bob said, risk. It is a high risk that these things can happen. We want you safe. We don't want anything to happen to you at all as we do all of this. We're coming back. We got more of this. We're going to make Elliot tell something about a family member. We're just going to really push him into admitting something. Yeah. Right around the corner.
Give him a little stump time at the end.
Yeah.
All aboard for the 22nd Annual Loose Caboose Arts and Crafts Festival, coming your way April the 12th in downtown Newton. craft vendors, carnival rides, food vendors, the dinosaur experience for the kids at the Kids Zone. Zach Logan will be the headliner for the entertainment at Ray Payne Park. The Bank First Car Show returns with cars, trucks, racing vehicles, and classic cars. Plus a motorcycle show as well. It's all happening this year at the 22nd Annual Loose Caboose Festival, downtown Newton. See you there. Stadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, best Stadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954.
Are you tired of your old car being a dud? Well, come into Kia Meridian, where we're giving up to $3,000 over KBB for your trade-in. We have interest rates as low as 0.9% and up to $3,000 in rebates. Come in at the Kia Meridian and drive off in a new car and a new you for the new year. Come see us.
The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger. Plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and I have a question for everybody in the room. Let me ask this. Do you remember Billy the Kid? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. A few years ago, there was a guy that was at a rummage sale. $2, he bought a picture. And there was a guy out there with a croquet stick. And he got a hunch for the history of who he thought it would be. It took him about 10 years to prove it, but it was Billy the Kid. The picture ended up being worth millions of dollars. Now, we might have another find. As we go to Daily Mail, they're showing the picture, and y'all decide if y'all think this is who it is. The guy has bought a family heirloom, and he says tucked inside of something he bought possibly is a picture of none other than Jesse James. Ooh. Let's go here and take a look. Top picture there. Is that Jesse? These two below here are confirmed pictures of Jesse. Very young, and this is a little bit older. Is it? I don't know. But if that is a picture of Jesse, that would be worth millions of dollars, I'm sure.
If he'll let me hold it.
That's verified for him,
I figured it out, you know.
That picture's 140 years old. Interesting. We'll see what becomes of this. That other guy, I'm telling you, he spent a lot of money to have to prove, and he ended up proving it through a diary of a woman. It was documented the day, and it mentioned that the picture was taken, and that's how he got it.
Him playing croquet.
Yeah. They were on break robbing banks, and they stopped by a friend's house. I mean, outlaws got to take a break.
Well, I mean, you got to exercise.
Have you ever played croquet?
I want to say when I was a kid, I played.
Didn't you had little metal pieces you put in the ground and you had to shoot the ball through it?
Yeah. Wow. And you had to hit another stick or something. I couldn't remember. I think I just went out there and just hit the ball.
We had a badminton thing there for a little while.
Oh, no, I played a lot of badminton with the
dogs tore down the little thing.
I like that badminton.
In with us this morning, Elliot Brewer has been in with us, and he is seeking election in Lauderdale County for Ward 1. Elliot, as we wrap the show up, what have we missed? What is it that needs to be addressed in the city that we hadn't talked about?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't really know. Because we highlighted the almost the certain hypocrisy of this new events
right
issue that's going out there with this new application, so to speak, that they got going on. We've addressed qualifications, but for those of you just tuning in, I would like to tell you I'm asking for your vote come April 1st at the Republican primary for City Council Ward 1. I do feel that my resume stands as a testament to the job that I would do every day for the city of Meridian. So I'm asking you to consider me as a 16-year public school educator, seven years as public school administrator, with that background and the things and activities and organizations I've been a part of through the city through the years. Just asking for your support come April 1st.
And that'll be here before you know it. Elliot, we wish you a lot of luck with that, and off to the polls you will go.
Absolutely. Thank you for the time, gentlemen.
I'll tell you what he's going to need. He's going to need an ice-cold Coca-Cola to help him as he makes these walks through the streets and go knock on these doors. I tell you, a nice ice-cold Coke. I like them out of a bottle, but to pour some over an ice, man, that's good. You like the Cokes out of a bottle.
Well, the great thing about those is when you slam on brakes, you don't spill them.
Well, that's true. You can put the lid on. Now, don't open it immediately. Greg got to have that Diet Coke. I don't think it's helping him too much.
It's picking on that poor man.
And you are just a bottle. I'm a regular Coke. My wife loves that vanilla Coke. But I tell you, there's something for everybody. Ice cold Coca-Cola. You can help the store that you're buying it at and Meridian Coca-Cola all at the same time. We're proud to have them as a sponsor.
If you hadn't been there, that means nothing to you. Let me tell you what it is. Dolly has dropped a new song on YouTube in remembrance of her husband. She's written a song for Carl Dean. It's out there. If you want to listen today, take a listen to that. Dolly, you can find it on YouTube or most networks. Just type that in, Dolly, and then type in If You Hadn't Been There, and you'll be able to listen to her new little song that she wrote about Carl Dean, who was her husband for nearly 60 years. It was either 59 or 60 that they were married. And bless her soul, bless her heart, she's having to learn to live without him. That's tough there. So
we had Robin said that she's kin to Jesse James. Her Papa's mama was Carrie James, so got a little ancestry with Jesse James.
Wasn't you married to a James one time?
Yeah, that was a long. How do you remember that?
Did I not call? You can just about use any name like Smith, and you go, well, yeah, I think I was married to her one time too.
It was a Connie, not a Carrie.
See, I busted you.
Yeah, that's Baby Duck's mama. When she's on here and I say, hey to Baby Duck.
Odie, have we got any birthdays this morning?
We do got some birthdays. Thank you for that. Moving right on along. Gail Cafford, also known as Mama Chick.
Mama Chick's got a birthday today.
Got a birthday today. Troy Dew is having a birthday. Bliss Keller, Brian Garrison, Eddie Cheney, Will Newman, Cooper Lott is 6 years young today. All right, so this was pretty smart. Bonita Embry's having a birthday today.
Okay.
All right, she is also with her husband Patrick celebrating an anniversary.
Well, so he doesn't miss anything.
He can't forget neither one of them. Now he has to double up on prizes.
Well, no, you don't. A man does not have to do that. Only ladies. You don't know that trick.
I ain't never had it on the same day.
It don't matter what the same. A man's gonna mess it up. I do it all the time.
And Vivian Lee, our long lost Vivian's birthday is today.
Oh, I was so proud of myself. I bought Angie this Christmas ornament for her birthday.
Well, that was good.
Except she didn't like it. She said I had no taste and that I should never buy her another one.
Rhett Joyner's 5. Well, you gave her a hand-me-down birthday card, didn't you?
Well, no, it was brand new.
Oh, it was just for somebody else?
It was for somebody's husband. I mean, don't let a man loose without glasses to read what the card actually said. It said, I love you, and I signed it right away to my husband. Not once, but twice I've done that. You can get away with it once. Bill Reinhardt has dropped by to see us today. Good to see Bill out and about once again. He's been roaming around, still doing a little performing there, singing, cutting up. Woo!
That's something there.
All right, as always, when we get ready to depart, we always have a special message we leave you with, and that's a word from up above. What do we got today?
Let's see. The good Lord's going to take us to Jonah 1:17. Now the Lord provideth a huge fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Whew. No matter what we do, we couldn't do it without the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And He give us a book of instructions, a book of stories that tell us what to do and how to do it and how to live. And all we've got to do is pick that book up and read a little bit at a time.
Remind me of that old hymn, wasn't it? I love to tell the story.
I love to tell the story glory. I wish I could sing.
But that was, I love that song.
Oh, it's good. And we just got new hymnals. And
Odie's not allowed to touch them.
Old stuff. Oh, I can open them up. I can't sing
you
real
hold
loud.
it to somebody else so they can sing.
Preacher told me, he said, not so loud, son, not so loud. Y'all, put Jesus in your heart. You can still have fun. You can still have laughter. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually a great remedy for everything you're going through. But number one, have Jesus Christ in your heart. Sunday, 3 o'clock, the walk starts. 2 o'clock, start lining up at the government complex. Going to walk in silence to the top of the 22nd Avenue Bridge, and then going to start shouting for the glory of God as the walk continues on to City Hall.
I didn't think you could talk.
You can't till you get to the entrance of the city at the top of the bridge, and then you yell in Jesus' name to cover us all.
Metal detector.
Woo! One at a time, one at a time. Don't push so fast. We're kidding. It's still fun and games. Y'all have a wonderful day. Friday's coming. Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll see you then. Remember, we love you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.